All right. Well, good morning, everyone. It is November 16th, 9:02 a.m. Thank you for being on the call. I know you are all very busy getting out there in front of your clients and prospects and making sure that you're getting them enrolled for, either December 1st effective, which there's lots of opportunities, or January 1st effective. And Jesse from Humana is going to be our special guest later on the call, and he's going to talk to you about all things Humana and Care Plus to help you out to make sure that you really close well on this AEP. I can tell you that it is a challenging AEP. I've heard from all of you. This is a very, very different environment. Those agents that have done really, really well, it's just about grinding it out. So that's basically what's happening. But I do have a couple of tricks and tips I'm going to tell you about today, some ideas. But first, let's go through the training calendar. This morning, we do have a training at 10 o'clock with Cigna. They're doing a telephonic enrollment. Again, I've been preaching about learning these e-apps. Jesse did a great job last week going through all the Humana and Care Plus. But there's a lot of those things happening on a weekly basis. So this one, 10 o'clock, Cigna is doing their telephonic enrollment training this morning. And then at 11 o'clock, Devoted is doing their broker coffee and chat sessions. Tomorrow, the 17th, we've got Bright Health Individual. They're doing their training sessions for the ACA market. The first one is tomorrow at 9 o'clock. It's going to be talking specifically about Jacksonville, but again, if you're selling Bright Health ACA across the state, it's always good to jump on those things anyway because they're pretty much straightforward. Also at 9 o'clock tomorrow, United Healthcare is doing their weekly coffee and chat session with Al and Deb. So you're there. You can get your answers from either one of those guys if you have any questions about what's going on with United. At 10 o'clock on Tuesday tomorrow, Humana is doing their training for digital marketing materials. So if you want to learn how to make your own digital marketing materials or know how to access those things, Humana has an incredible self-service portal. Jesse's going to talk to you in detail about that today a little bit. And then there's a training session tomorrow at 10 o'clock, so you can jump on that to kind of learn more about how you can make your own marketing materials, especially on the digital front, which I'm hearing from some of you that you're getting leads from Facebook and social media. So that's a good one to be on. Moving on to Wednesday the 18th, another Bright Health session for ACA. That is going to be at 9 o'clock on the 18th. At 10 o'clock same day, you've got Cigna doing another telephonic enrollment training. At 11 o'clock on the 18th, Aetna is doing their Ascend training. Also at 11 o'clock on Wednesday, United Healthcare is doing another virtual training with Al Clancy. You can jump on that if you need help with him. And then at 1 o'clock on Wednesday, WellMed is continuing to do their drive-through sessions. This one's at Deltona. So if you're in the Volusia market looking to work with doctors, they're doing a drive-through session. And we'll talk more a little bit about doctors, but the big thing here, I've talked to many of you. You expect leads from doctors, and really it's not about that. It's about the relationship, and we're going to talk more about that. But do your best. If you do business in Volusia County and you're looking for doctors to work with, stop by that event. That's at 1 o'clock on Wednesday. On Thursday the 19th at 11:30, Devoted is doing a coffee and chat session again. This one's specifically for the Jacksonville market, but again, if you offer Devoted, always good to jump on there and ask questions. On Thursday at 1 o'clock, Cigna is doing their Medicare Advantage and telephonic enrollment training. That's at 1 o'clock on Thursday. 2 o'clock on Thursday, Humana is hosting their telephonic enrollment, e-app signatures, and IVR with their scope of appointments. So they're going to teach you how to do complete remote enrollment tools. Again, I've been preaching this from day one since we started this pandemic. Make sure you're familiar with all of those e-app tools so you know how to do a complete enrollment over the phone. So that's Humana at 2 o'clock. And then two more trainings here on Thursday at 3 o'clock. Ascension, if you're in the Jacksonville market, Ascension Complete is doing a broker huddle session at 3 o'clock. And finally, last training of the week on Thursday the 19th, Bright Health is doing a training session for their Medicare dashboard, and that's at 3 p.m. on Thursday. So no trainings on Friday the 20th. Again, all of these trainings can be found in our training calendar. Please make sure you have access to that by laptop, iPad, or phone. You can give us a call and we'll get that set up for you. These training sessions are put together for you to make you quicker, faster, smarter, and stronger as an agent. So please make sure that you invest time in yourself on learning all these great tools. All right, moving on. The kits for 2020, we have very limited selection, just as a reminder, as I did last week. Starting November 30th, the last day to write a 12-1 application. After that, you need to trash all applications on December 1st for 2020. So any kits, any applications, any marketing materials that are promoting 2020 need to be removed and disposed of as of December 1st. So check your trunks, check your car, check your garage, check your home office, wherever you're keeping those 2020 kits. Make sure that you get them ready in one place, because on December 1st you need to get rid of them. We will no longer be ordering any 2020 kits at Health Plan Market, so if you run out of something, you'll need to reach out to the health plan directly to get those orders, or stop by one of their office, or coordinate how you can get those 2020 kits. So don't throw anything out just yet, just be prepared to do so we can get that done. All right, so on to network information. Humana has sent out a notice that's letting everyone know that they've got Orlando Family Physicians and IMA are brand new to the Humana network. So this is a first. I know recently OFP has added Care Plus. IMA has had Care Plus for a while, but now they're both going to be in network at Humana. So this is a big play. Combined, I would say they probably have over 30 to 40 offices in Central Florida and beyond. I know IMA is strong in the Polk County market, in Tampa as well. But adding these doctors' networks really expands their PCP count across Central Florida. So Orlando Family Physicians and IMA are now part of the Humana network, I believe, starting December 1st, if I'm not mistaken. So those are brand new providers that were not in the Humana network before. So if you have somebody that would, joined Humana and left and wants to go back to their doctor, they can now do that without disenrolling. Or somebody that's on Humana already and looking for a new doctor, there's an option for you. So just keep that in mind. All right, WellCare, wanted to give you a reminder. WellCare does have an AOR policy. I've run into quite a few of you this past week asking about, can I change agent of record? I have people that are, telling me that they're happy with their WellCare plan in this instance, but they want to change their agent of record. WellCare does allow you to do that. You need to have a letter. You can type it up and have your member sign it, but it does have to have the member's name, their member ID number, the date, and their signature on the letter. And very simple. You can type it up. It says, "To whom it may concern, it's my wish to change my agent of record to Justin Jacobs, agent number 250384. So you can put that on there, have the member sign it, and you can go into your portal and upload that letter into your portal system, so that way you have the ability to get a client, on your book of business. Now, this is really, really helpful. In my instance, I had a member that called customer service, and somehow, some way, an agent showed up to his house and switched him over, and he had no idea what he was doing, but he wanted me to be the agent because I've been his agent for over 10 years. So he was very upset and wanted me to be the agent, and so being able to do a letter to change agent of record was really, really helpful for both him and for me, so now I can continue to serve him and make sure that he's getting everything he needs on his plan. So to my knowledge, I believe WellCare is still the only person only company that allows you to do this for your people on a letter. So just keep that in mind while you're out there. You do have the ability to help those folks that are orphaned, or even if your client gets switched out, you can get them back on your book of business. All right, Bright Health, brand new. They have an assisted voice signature option now. They just launched that last week, so there will be upcoming training sessions on that. Please check back on the training calendar, as I mentioned earlier in the call. But you can now do a complete telephonic voice signature option for your clients to get them enrolled and that's available right now. So for more information, you can reach out to Dan at Bright Health, and he can get you hooked up on how to get that done. All right, Simply also, they have a new AOR letter policy as well. So it looks like they're copying WellCare's agent of record policy. You were all sent an email last week with the specific details on how to do that with Simply, but same idea applies. You do need to make sure that you have a letter created and signed by your member and submitted into Simply so you can get that done. All right, Aetna. You can now call on behalf of your members to member services versus broker support. So if your member is having difficulties getting their medications, or maybe they're having an issue with their referral process or something of that nature, you can now call customer service on behalf of your member at Aetna. So that was sent in an email. You should all have customer service lines for all the carriers. But I thought this was pretty neat because it's always been somewhat of a contention having to call into the carriers and represent your carrier or yourself as the carrier when helping a member. It seems like broker support's always confused and the member's always confused, so it looks like Aetna is attacking that issue and trying to make it a little bit easier for you as a broker and also a little bit easier for your members so that you can help them get what they need done. So that's on the Aetna side. All right, and as a reminder here, some marketing stuff I just wanted to touch base before we pass it off to Jesse. We are recreating our website. We've got it pretty much launched at askhpm.com. I am requesting any events that you're currently doing. If you're doing tabletops, if you're doing doctor's offices or pharmacies or Walmarts, if you send us the calendar, we're going to promote those for you. So if you're there 3 days a week, I'm there Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10 to 12. Let us know. Send those events to us so we can upload them on our website, and we're going to get those promoted for you. The idea here is to drive traffic to all events in those areas. So please, if you're doing events, please let a team member know so we can get those loaded into the website and up for grabs so that way we can promote those events that you've got going on in the community. All right. A couple other things here. If you're looking for a marketing list to do mail-outs, or if you're looking for a marketing list to do emails to Medicare or ACA, we do have lists available depending on what you're looking for and in which areas. It does take a little while to cultivate the list, but we can get it for you. So if you're looking to do mail-outs, if you're looking to do email blasts, phone numbers are always a little scarce anyway, but if you're marketing Medicare Advantage, you're not allowed to cold call anyway. If you're doing supplements, you can do it. ACA, you can do it. But if you are looking for lists, please let us know, and we'll be able to help you in your area. So if you live in Volusia County and you want a list of T65s, we'll be glad to work to get you a list. Okay, so please let us know what kind of list service you're looking for, and we can get that done for you. Wanted to share a marketing tip that was working. One of our partners, Ramilda West, has had some great success with yard signs, and I know we've all seen those yard signs very recently when you're driving around. Especially at the polls, at the election polls, you have the yard signs that stick up, and they have vote for this, vote for that. But those are yard signs, and her strategy is very simple: to make up a simple yard sign that says Medicare help and her phone number. And what she does is every Sunday she goes out and pops those things in the ground, near senior centers and pharmacies and doctor's offices and anywhere where she thinks seniors are going to go or pass by. She's putting those signs. And from what she's told me, every time that she does it, the week after she puts out those signs, she gets anywhere from 2 to 4 appointments, which is pretty awesome. So, if that's something you're interested in doing, there is a service that I found. It's called signsonthecheap.com. Pretty easy. Seems like you can get about 100 yard signs done for about $80 or so. So just a little marketing tip, maybe that's something that'll work for you. She puts out about 40 signs. I think she said about 40 signs every Sunday night. Keep in mind that it may be a little bit of cat and mouse game because you know, you have the yard guys come in and cut lawns, so they take those signs down, or sometimes the city ordinance will come by and pick up those signs. So a little bit of cat and mouse. Don't expect them to be there forever, but super, super helpful. I appreciate Ramilda sharing that information with us. But just another way to do marketing, and maybe that could drive some appointments and sales for you as well, especially if you know where those seniors are living. She likes to put them by the 55-plus communities and right outside the gate there. When they you know, pull out of the neighborhood, she's got signs all over the place. So it seems to be working for her. So, you know, if you're interested in doing that, that's how you get it done. All right, and last thing I just want to touch on real quick is, you know, I'd mentioned earlier WellMed's doing, you know, their doctor drive-throughs, and you know, I've talked to many of you, and you had talked to me about, you know, I don't get any leads from doctors. I don't know how to work leads from doctors. How come I'm not getting my leads from my doctors? I just want to kind of change your mindset and just don't ever expect leads from doctors. And I know that's a hard concept to swallow, and you're like, that's crazy. You know, how am I supposed to not think about getting leads from doctors? What you want to do is change your mindset. You want to partner with a doctor to secure your business for retention. That's what you need to go for in your mindset. So yes, you may have some doctors that you want to work with, or you expect leads because you put a client there. They got 100 mouths to feed. But if you change your mindset and you say, hey doctor, I'm looking for a doctor that I can put my members with and feel secure about it and not have to worry about whether they're going to be treated well, or that you're going to flip my membership, or you know, that you're going to have 100 agents in there every week. I'm looking for a good doctor that I can trust my clients with. And that's where you're going to build relationships. That's where you're going to, you know, feel confident that if you're in, you know, Altamont Springs, you have a doctor in Altamont Springs, and you say, hey, well, this is the doctor that I recommend because I trust him. I know he's not going to, you know, steer you wrong. He's got great ratings. He accepts, you know, Humana, for instance. This is the doctor that I would recommend. And just because you put a patient there, don't ever expect for you to get a lead. It's just not the right way to go about it. What you want to do is build a relationship. Now, when you go in there, you want to build that relationship and say, hey, doctor, I sent you 3 patients last week. Just want to make sure you take care of them. Here's their names, phone numbers, and emails, or whatever you guys want to, you know, just be careful with sharing information, of course, but let them know who those members are, and so you can get them in touch with a doctor to get them served. But that's really the whole point of having a doctor relationship. And by way of, when you're really treating your doctors well and you have those relationships, again, I would only recommend having maybe 5 or so of those doctors that you have a true standing relationship with, maybe in each corner of the city or wherever you're doing your marketing. Those doctors are your partners, and they're the partners in the way that you trust your members with them, and you know, that's really what it's all about. Will you get leads? Most likely you will get leads from a relationship like that. Most likely. But if you're going tit for tat, 1 for 1, 2 for 1, you're going about it the wrong way, and that's not really what that relationship's all about. It's really about serving your clients and retaining your business. And that's really how I think you should be approaching doctors and how you do your leads. So with that, I'm going to get off my soapbox here, and I'm going to turn it over to Jesse. Jesse, I'm going to go ahead and unmute you. Can you hear me, Jesse?
Yes.
All right, we got you. All right, buddy. So if you want to introduce yourself and give them your pitch.
Yeah. Thank you for giving me time to speak. I had a lot of people on a call on Thursday. Appreciate y'all attending. It was a later call. Again, I'm Jesse Dirienzo with Humana Care Plus. I'll try to kind of piggyback on what Justin's topics were today. I can't share my screen, I don't believe, but that's okay. I can describe each scene I'm looking at really well. So Justin mentioned working with your doctor's offices, and what I was going to talk about today, it can tie into that pretty well. And I'm not going to go through all the stuff I went through on Thursday. Obviously, there's not enough time for that, and even benefits. I suggest you take a look at those hot sheets at a bare minimum. If you haven't looked at Humana benefits, Care Plus, look at the hot sheets I sent. I'm sorry, the Why Humana, Why Care Plus sheets. We name them hot sheets just so people are like, what is that? And you open it. I know it's a stupid name, but it does give you attention. I love it. So those will get you caught up within 5 minutes on the most interesting parts of 2021 benefits for Humana Care Plus, and they're good. The benefits are awesome next year. We shouldn't be losing any membership or losing any sales based on our benefits, because either Humana or Care Plus really have something great for each member. But for today, I'll talk about a marketing idea. That's kind of what this call is about. And I know there's all kinds of stuff going on. It's kind of hard to talk about marketing ideas, especially in the community, because we don't know exactly what's going on with the future of COVID and how much we're going to be able to do going forward. It feels like it's opening up, but we never know what's going to come back. And we're working with seniors, so obviously we got to be extra careful about it. So what I'm going to talk about today, it kind of ties into Justin's PCP marketing, primary or doctor marketing. And, doctor marketing can be, I'm seeing it super competitive now. Everybody's doctor marketing. So you really got to maybe do something that helps you stand out among the doctors and the staff at the offices. And this, what I'm talking about today, is really not meant for that, but it can be totally used for that. Now, if you go into the MRC, Marketing Resource Center, obviously you can't see my screen here. We have, Facebook marketing pieces. We got tons of new stuff's been added in there. So if you haven't been in there since the past 3 weeks, all the new 2021 stuff, all kinds of, just tons of new creatives in there. And it's labeled new, so you'll see that it says new. But what I want to talk about today is something called Programs in a Box. I don't know if you ever noticed it. I've mentioned it before. It's not utilized enough, and I noticed Humana added about 20 new topics for 2021. And what this is, it's a program for you in a box. So you can go into Humana, type in PI, program in a box, PIAB, or type in programs in a box, and it's going to bring up really hundreds, a little over 100 different topics that you can take to doctors, to doctors' offices, to anywhere you can get some people that are interested in listening to really topics that have to do with their health and their eating habits and their mental health. And it's made for you to present. So basically, when you go into the MRC, you got all these topics. Right now I'm looking at this one called Organic Foods, to buy or not to buy. I think this ties in really well with our healthy food card right now. So what it does, it gives you about 10 different slides. The slides, they'll state, what we're talking about today does not replace professional health care, but the topics are really interesting. So you're going to be able to get the slides. So right in MRC, you can download the slides, customize them, put your name on it. The slides all have, extensive notes. So what this is designed to make you look like an expert, or at least know what you're talking about to prospects and members. So, for example, this organic food presentation that you can download, put your face on, you go through the slides, and, basically it's going to get into. I went through this, and actually it was super interesting. I read almost every slide because it convinced me not to buy regular food anymore. I'm always buying organic stuff and kind of questioning myself about doing it. And this presentation really gave me the information that kind of changed my mind into maybe I should buy it 100%. So this, I'm looking at it now. You guys can't see it, but it gets into all what's the difference between organically raised food and other foods, and it's really great information. All the information you're citing is actually included in here. There's links to like the National Library of Medicine. So everything that you're going to be stating, you're going to have a link to be able to, back it up with facts. So what this is going to do, it's going to let you give these small presentations to either your prospects or just a group of people that, are interested in attending. Some agents have done these in coordination with doctors' offices. Some of these actual presentations are doctors required to do them. You actually have to have a doctor that speaks on the slides. Most of them aren't, but there are some in there. So if you were to be working with a doctor and you were going to hold one of these, whether it's a Zoom call or however, I'm not sure exactly how you guys are doing stuff these days, but if you're doing a Zoom call or if you're doing an actual face-to-face meeting with people, I'm not going to advise you on exactly what to do or what you can do or not, but if you were doing face-to-face, you could make flyers based on these little presentations. Ideally, what I've seen agents do somewhat to the extent in Volusia years ago. We've had these around for a while. They've just updated these. But some agents will, get on a schedule. So if you're working with a community, that has a schedule of events, you can get on the schedule. When you're able to present that I have all these different topics I can come talk to your residents about, and they're good topics. They're professionally done. They're very interesting, and you could be on their schedule as the weekly speaker on all these different topics. But organic food, let me list a couple more. There's tons of them here. You know, simple steps to boost your immune system. 5 sneaky causes for weight gain. So these are, you know, good half-hour. Maybe you can make it an hour presentation. They come with handouts, so you're going to get the PowerPoint with all the notes that you can customize, and then you're going to get handouts that go with it too. So members can take away all the information that you shared with them. And it's really interesting information. You know, the shakedown on sugar. So these are all the topics. So I suggest going to the MRC, check it out if you haven't done it before. Type in programs in a box or PIAB. And this is just a little bit different way of maybe doing some marketing. And it also feels good because this could be fun for you. You know, if you get on a schedule with the community or even a doctor's office, the doctor and the staff can even, you know, attend and see what you're doing to give back to their patients. And then, you know, that kind of helps you stick out to them. And on top of that, you're getting people that are maybe interested in enrolling in a plan. So you can market this to your book of business, you know, and ask them to bring friends, you know, anybody that's in your book, even if it's not a Humana plan. It doesn't matter. These aren't sales presentations. It's just they're Humana branded. However, they are absolutely zero sales included in this. So you can present to anybody. You can have United Healthcare dual eligibles come and hear about healthy eating, you know, and Humana just happens to have a healthy food card.
Awesome.
So you can invite. It's not just for Humana. Did I hear something? Am I getting the hook?
No, you're good. You're good.
So I suggest PIBA, go into the Marketing Resource Center, check these out. I will support it. So if you see a topic in here or a bunch of topics that you want to get going in a newsletter, in a community, or working with doctors' offices, even just mailing out to your book of business an invite to come and attend one of these presentations. And it could be Zoom. I don't want to tell you how to do the business. I'm not sure. I'm sure Justin has ideas of how you can present these to people in a way that, because you're not career agents, so I don't want to tell you exactly what you can and cannot do as far as COVID goes, but I'm sure you guys got some ideas over there. With these programs, I'm going to send everybody an email, just get you a little interested in it to see one of them. I'm going to send you the organic food presentation just so you can get a little taste of it. Then you can go in there and see there's just so many. I mean, for Humana to supply this kind of resource, it's got to cost a fortune, and also really people's time that they're putting into these presentations. They're professional presentations. They're beautiful, and you're able to take them and make them your own. And all the notes that are included with them will make you sound like you know what you're talking about. And eventually you will know what you're talking about with these things and get really good at them. So I think that's my time. I think that was a good thing to share. Healthy food card is $50. Tons of marketing material on that. But I think this gives you just a little something extra if you're interested in trying it. I'll send a follow-up email to everybody. Justin can send me a list. Otherwise, I'll just send it to everybody in my hierarchy. That's about it. Is there any questions? Did we get questions on this? I don't know if that's okay.
Yeah, no, that's perfect, Jesse. And I'm going to ask a few questions too because I know that they're probably going to ask the same ones first. So I have to tell you that program in a box is brilliant. When I was a selling agent, what I would do is go out to the senior communities, and most all of the towers or apartments or senior housing facilities are required to do, I think, 2 or 3 events every month. And so when you go there and you build a relationship with these places, you're kind of filling a need for them, right? So going in there and saying, hey, I'm not here to sell anything, because that's what they hate the most. They don't want you to go in there and sell anything. They want you to educate. And this fills that gap, and it gets you in front of seniors. What I love about it is that you can customize it, so it has, my information on it, my picture on it, and I'm assuming you can download, these materials so they can use it on and offline. Is that right? Okay.
Yep.
And, just as
I'm going to send everybody a sample.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'll be sending everybody a sample so you know exactly what you can get from, and it's really easy to download. Go ahead.
Oh, that's awesome. And then, as you were talking, I was kind of thinking about, the remote aspect. And what I'm going to do, me personally, is I'm going to download and pick out a couple of these, and I'm going to make a video. And I don't know if you guys know this, but Google Meet, you can do a full video presentation and record it. And so that way, once it's recorded, I'm going to load it up on YouTube, and then I'm going to start posting it on Facebook and Instagram and all these places online, and that could be a lead generation system, you know. And at the end of the presentation, you say, I'm an independent agent. I can help you with your health insurance options. If you have any questions, here's my number, here's my website. And I used to get leads from educational programs just because people felt comfortable after the presentation to say, hey, you didn't push me anything, you didn't sell me anything. You're there as a resource. So I think adding these tools are an awesome piece. But you know, there's nothing more powerful than getting in front of a group of people. But you know, making those videos might be a good marketing tool for you to get out there for your members as well. And then question for you, Jesse, the Facebook training, or I'm sorry, the Facebook assets on the MRC, is there still a required training to be done in order to access those marketing materials?
Yeah, I sent an email afterwards, but there's the training that whenever we talk about training here, it's basically you going into the university and picking the training and reading basically a 2-pager. That's the extent, and then you're certified. So it's nothing big.
Okay, great. Yeah, just wanted to give everybody heads up. So to access those Facebook ads and posts and all the stuff that they've got in there, you do got to complete that training first, and then once you get the training done, you should have access to all those tools. So
right.
Just want to make sure that's good. Okay. All right, so that's all the questions I had. I'm going to open it up for everyone else here. So does anyone have any questions for myself?
Hey, Justin, this is make sure everybody knows that the MRC and the training library that Jesse was speaking about are all found on Vantage. So that's where you find the access to these resources.
Okay, on the Vantage portal, right? Okay.
Yeah, it almost goes for almost everything I talk about on Vantage, which is a good thing, you know. One stop.
Justin.
Yes, sir.
This is Bill. Hey, a quick question regarding those signs that you were mentioning. What's the county if they pick up those signs? Don't they give you a fine?
Normally they don't. Yeah, normally they don't. And like I mentioned, it's a little bit of cat and mouse.
It's Jim. You want me to speak to that?
Yeah, that would be great, Jim. Go ahead.
All right. So
yeah, dude, I'm just listening and I'm trying to do one thing. I'll get it in a second.
No.
Sorry, hold on, guys.
Oh, really?
Hold on.
Sorry.
All right, go ahead, Jim. I'm sorry.
Okay. Yeah, it's all right. So, you know, essentially putting them in the right-of-way you're not supposed to do, but we've never even ever had a call from anybody other than maybe a property owner. If we put it on a property somewhere, they said, hey, you've got street signs here. We don't want to throw them out because we know they cost money. If you'll come and get them, we'll keep them for you for a few days. So they actually just either get thrown away and you don't even know about it, or people respect the fact that there's cost in them and they'll let you come and get them. So we kind of play it fast and loose because some of these signs have been up for a month now, and some of these signs get picked out, you know, the day after. So it's just a hit and miss. But there's no legal or any official ramifications whatsoever. We've been doing it for about 6 weeks.
6 weeks, okay. Yeah, so, I mean, officially, yeah, they could probably give you a ticket officially, but like Jim mentioned, you know, it's not really happening. They usually give you a warning, and so that's why I was saying it's kind of cat and mouse, and Jim's got his spots, so he goes back around and sees, you know, have they been picked up? If they have, and he hasn't gotten a call about it, he'll put them back where they go. But if he has and somebody says, hey, I don't want your signs here anymore, then he's like, okay, I'll find another spot. So he just kind of, you know, it's a little cat and mouse. It is, but you know, for $80, 100 signs, and you know, from the success that they've gotten from at least phone calls, I think it's way worth it, definitely. And I'm going to be meeting with a designer tomorrow, and we're going to try to create a design so you don't have to, break your head creating one, and then we could just pop in your phone number. I'll work on that, but in the meantime, if you just want to get the job done, which I recommend because, we're running out of daylight here for AEP, just go to signsonthecheap.com, go there, create your sign, and get them printed and shipped to you as quick as possible.
Right.
And
One other thing, Justin, is that, and Ramila didn't speak to you about it, but the even though it says local health Medicare and then her phone number, we probably get almost as many calls for ACA. So I've gotten multiple leads from ACA because the people that ACA don't understand the difference or are just looking for help, or there's very, very few people out there looking to help people with ACA. So any ACA people that are looking, so I've probably gotten 10 leads and at least 4 sales from those, just ACA. They don't say anything about ACA on them at all.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. And so maybe experiment with that, Jim, just as feedback. Maybe make one just for ACA and see if you get some traction on that too. Yeah.
Yeah, the next order for sure.
Yeah, or if they let you do it front and back, print it front and back, that might be an option too, because you never know.
They don't. They don't. Not for the cheap price. It has to be the same on both sides. So.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's true. But Jim, please say thank you to Ramilda and thank you to you for sharing that idea and sharing your success with the team and letting them know that, hey, we found something that's working. And any other tips as far as where to go on this, or?
Yeah, well, we're out here in Lake County, and there's just new doctors' offices and stuff just popping up everywhere. So we're just continue to pepper it, and common areas around Walmart, those kinds of things, those are fantastic.
Oh yeah.
So you just got to put it out there. You can't just pop signs anywhere. They have to be someplace where a senior would have stopped and it's safe. There's no sense of having a sign on the side of the road that they're driving by at even 35 miles an hour. It's going to do you no good at all. You get stop signs and those kinds of things. Places where they're stopped, or when they pull out of their subdivision, it's across the street, they can see it while they're stationary. That's the best place.
No, that's great. At stoplights and stop signs and that kind of thing, I think is good. I saw a couple of signs while you're turning in. You have those medians where you have to turn and wait for the traffic on the other side, and that's a good place because they're waiting to turn, and so you got a sign right there that's in their face. Coming back in to their residence might be another idea there. But yeah, I would say pharmacies, like Jim had mentioned, pharmacies, doctors' offices, and then high traffic areas like Walmart. That's where seniors are going. So we have to think, where do they play? Where do they pray? Where do they sleep? Where do they eat? You got to get in their minds, like, where are they going? And those are good ideas on where to pop these signs up. And even so, if you find a doctor's office and you want to host an educational event, we can get with Jesse and get those presentations out and done. And so you never know. I mean, it's marketing. You got to get out there. So thanks, Jim.
Yeah, Justin, there's one more thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
That anywhere you stop that you're going in to do anything, an official business, I pop a sign out next to my car. So I park somewhere near the median or whatever, going into Walgreens, I just pop that sign out right next to my car. And then when I leave, I pick it up and go on with it. But anywhere I go, I put that sign out so that they see it sitting there. I don't leave it, but I put it out while I'm there.
Yeah, it's like the old real estate trick, right? If you're doing an open house, you want to let people know that you're there. That's awesome.
Just to bring up, am I still on? I'm on mute.
Yeah.
Humana has so in the MRC you can actually get a car magnet if you wanted it. That kind of makes me think of it when you say you put out a sign. We have car magnets in there you can get, and also yard signs. So if you're looking for Humana yard signs, we got them in there. If you're interested, I can help an agent that wants to get that stuff. We'll get it for them if they need it.
No, that's awesome. I didn't know that you guys had yard signs. So there you go, guys. If you don't want to work on design, you can go in there and put out a Humana sign. And that's super, super helpful in high-density areas where Humana is, right? Or a doctor that takes Humana to put that yard sign right there, especially if you have a relationship with that doctor. I'm sure they wouldn't have a problem putting out a Humana sign. For people that are coming in and leaving the office, they have somebody to call with their Humana questions. Awesome. So any other questions this morning?
So,
Yep. All right, guys. Well, if no other, Will, did you have a question?
yeah, real quick. You mentioned Humana now owns FPG. They're considering IMA as well, IMA?
No, they added their IMA to the network, so they now accept Humana as a carrier.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and actually they were able to load that up for 11 weeks, so those offices are all set. And
Oh,
IMA
okay.
and OFP.
Mm-hmm. Oh, thank you. Okay, so that's for live right now, Will. So both Orlando Family Physicians and IMA are now accepting Humana, whereas they were not in the network before.
Right. Okay, cool.
Yep.
Okay, great. Thank you.
All right. Any other questions this morning? All right. Well, fantastic. I appreciate everyone being on the call this morning. Special thank you to Jesse. We really appreciate your help and for being on the call and sharing that great information that you've got for Humana and MRC. That's super helpful, and I'm definitely going to get to work on that today because today is one of my video days, so I'm going to see what you got in that box there. So appreciate it. And as always, guys, if you have any questions, please reach out to us. You know where we live. Hope you guys have a fantastic day.